podcast. You got DA here, man. We got a room full of people. Everybody, ready, locked in, man. We'd like to appreciate y'all for tapping in, man, giving us another hour of your time, hour and 30 minutes, however long it's going to be. We don't really fucking know. But, we want to appreciate y'all, man. Or say we appreciate y'all and thank y'all for tapping in, man. As we always like to do, and it's become customary, we want to go around the room. We always just check the temperature of everybody, see how everybody doing before we dive into some silly shit. So, we're going to start with Mel, man, and we're just going to work our way around, man.
Hey, what's up? This is Mel. Thanks for tuning in. I want to say we bringing a few more people in to the show, introducing them to this show because they have podcasts coming out that'll be coming to the network. So my man Paris, who's a guest on this show, we working on finalizing stuff to get him his own podcast on the network. So he doing his debut and his interview with us on Uncensored Mics.
Hey, he passing with flying colors right now. Like the
So we just like to thank y'all for tuning in. Of course, Uncensored Mics is my baby because it was the first podcast started under Mental Health 3 Media Network. But we 10 strong now. We got 10 podcasts now under the network. Also, we want y'all to keep tuning in. One of one gonna be coming, and we got Let's Be Real About It with DA Date Talk. That's coming. So, hey, I'm just glad to be in the room again and putting out content.
Yeah, we got T'Challa.
Yo, I'm here. Yeah. I'm here.
This podcast forever.
Wakanda for life.
We got Eggy.
Yes, sir.
We got our own
B.
Yes, sir. That's me.
Can I call you Big B?
Yes, sir.
Biggest person in the room right now.
A little swole.
It's Mel mentioned him earlier, man. We got Paris.
Paris is me. You can find me on Facebook, Paris Jackson, Paris LaFleur, Sakara Jackson, Instagram, Z the last letter. I only got a billion lanes. You call me everything. Just don't call me broke.
And I ain't gonna forget him. We got Hollings World.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, D.A.
Hollings World.
Excellent host. You see what he did, Mel? You see what he just did?
I'm learning.
We got the man.
That's your neighbor, though. How you gonna
Thank
forget
you,
this
DA.
man?
I appreciate it, brother.
Xbox player.
It don't matter. How
I
you
got a
gonna forget the
PS4
man that's
and
filming
too.
everything? Come on now.
You play Xbox?
And the shirt's
Hey,
fine on Hollings.
let's
I
go,
ain't
let's
gonna
go.
lie, I like that shirt.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I got you.
Hey, next topic.
This topic.
I got 2 consoles.
Okay, cool.
You got 2 calls.
They got 2.
They got the 5 though. You got the 5?
I work for Best Buy, yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it. You got to pick up the truck. You was like,
Hey,
this
yeah,
is
you need
mine.
to drop one. Hey, you need to drop one for me.
Man, behind the camera, we got Hollings World, man. So, kicking it off, man, Eggy brought it up, off mic, about the Lil Durk situation with, him getting into a shootout in his house or people attempting to, attempt a home invasion. So, I just wanted to, get you guys' thoughts on that. And
I'll take off with it.
But hold on, before you say that, and even that kind of lends back, because I think we spoke about it before, matter of fact, we did, where Jim Jones said being a rapper was the most dangerous profession.
Yeah, it is.
So we can kind of expound on that too.
Okay.
Before we, dive in everything. But just your thoughts on the Durk, and then,
I go in on the first.
being a rapper.
I feel like he moved the right way. Having your let the train to shoot, being in the position he in, it's one of the best things he can do. Because while you ain't looking, she looking, and she know how to shoot. A lot of people don't even teach their woman how to defend themselves at all. And that's a powerful point. If you know how to play chess, you catch that queen, you almost got that king. You know what I'm saying? So then once you got the queen, you can get the king because ain't nobody can defend him. And you can use the queen to get it. Guys can snatch your lady up. Ransom money. Like they playing hardball nowadays. It's a lot of money floating around. You got a lot of money. They'll play hard with you. Yeah, so you did the right thing. Trying to bust, you defend yourself. That out of that whole situation, that what caught my attention. Him and his lady shot out with robbers. It wasn't just him. Like she busting with you. Like that's fine. What more can you ask for? Bunny and Clyde, the whole yoke. While I'm slipping, you gripping. When you slipping, I'm gripping. What a better companionship.
Yeah. So what about the whole thing of rap being a dangerous profession? I think a lot of that stuff is self-inflicted. As far as, the way you carry yourself, the way you move, who you move with, the type of shit that you involve yourself in, whether it be, beefs on record, off record. A lot of that shit, like the whole, for example, something recent, the whole King Von situation. Like that situation could have been 100% avoidable.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, like, yeah, I don't really like this dude, but I'm gonna go about my business. He can go about his business. We both getting money.
I call it the internet. They did it.
But this would be the funny thing. To staff a security force around you a year, maybe $500,000 for the year, and then go put that shit in a necklace. So
Exactly.
I got on $500,000.
Oh, maybe SUV.
Yeah. And it's like you can literally provide security for you and your family for a whole year or 2 years, you know, for the price that you spend on jewelry.
I bet $80 a lot of them don't have life insurance.
Yeah, I agree.
They probably don't have regular
Because
insurance.
they living that fast life.
You live in a mirage. It's like you live in a live, false image. I don't even think they buy all the stuff they buy. I don't think the clothes they buy.
A lot of that money, the
Lease.
prop money.
I think it's all sponsored. I think the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci is all sponsored because the network. You I don't know the word for it. But basically, you like a dummy.
A walking billboard.
Yeah, you walk a billboard.
You're an
so
asset.
so
You're an
whatever
asset.
you
Yeah.
wear,
You're an
the
asset.
more popular you will, the more popular it's gonna be. So it's like if like just take Drake for instance. If I put Drake in Prada right now, everybody gonna stop buying Gucci. They gonna stop buying Dior. They gonna stop buying Louis. They gonna stop buying Prada. Ain't about market tactics. And they're just playing on the masses' intelligence, you know what I'm saying? And now you got everybody around here feeling like to be accepted. You gotta wear designer. You gotta buy $500 pair of shoes. Your belt gotta be $1,300. It just random stuff. And to be accepted, it ain't that. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff is just a facade to just keep people out of just a real rational, conscious reality.
And they falling for it.
Yeah, but that's what it's designed for though. It's just, like they put this together real good. It's designed for it. And that's why rappers get paid so much money what they do because of the task you doing. You like the Pied Piper, or what his name was, the Pied Piper who the mice who came through and made all them play that flute.
You talking about R. Kelly now?
Hey, R. Kelly got the name from somebody.
He the Pied Piper of piss.
But you know, it also can be said, like, when you take a look at just the landscape of rap now, like being a street rapper is in. Like, I mean, it's always been in, but now, like,
It's
you know,
what's trendy.
people flock to authenticity, and when you seem authentic, that's a selling point. Like, people really want to believe that you're out there doing what you're talking. Even if you're not, you got to make it look.
That's the market.
You got to make it. You got to make it look.
And that's why they get the money. That's why the deal was 1.5 because I'm gonna give you the money to make this look like it with the eyes see, the mind believe. And when it comes down to children, it's eyes and ears.
Yeah.
What they see is what they know. What they hear is what they learn. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like eyes and ears. So it's the same thing when it comes down to even grown folks. It's all a big illusion. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll show you a video. And I'm doing this in the video and I'm rapping about it, and now I done subliminally put this in your mind, and now you're gonna reenact it, whether no matter what age
Well,
you will.
I kind of say that the generation is a little weak-minded.
Hell
And
yeah.
that's bad to say it that way, but I only can do what's popular.
Yeah.
I can only follow what's popular. You can't get out there and you know, rap is different. You know, we had KRS-One, we had
a lot of conscious rappers.
you have different things. Think about this. Listen to the music and think about the music that we have out now, rapper-wise. What is positive? Who is positive along the way?
Man, one on.
You got a few. You got a few.
J. Cole.
But
Can
they're not
Can I hear
popular.
besides like Chance the Rapper or like Trey the Truth? Like they the only two. Every other rapper I know is talking about some kind of destructive.
What you got?
No, you got
What
J.
you
Cole.
But you
J.
got-
Cole,
I mean,
but-
J. Cole, yeah. But you also got a whole different set of genre as far as like Christian hip hop music. Now a lot of people say, "Oh, hip hop Christian music."
No,
it
it's
can't
different.
It's
But-
kind of
But it's not mainstream though.
No, it's not mainstream,
It'll
but they
never be
spit some
mainstream.
dope stuff. Like
I don't listen to
look
it.
into
You listen to it?
Yeah,
But in church,
Who?
I listen to Bizzle. I listen
Okay,
to Diddy,
you can stop at
Craig,
Bizzle because I don't even know who Bizzle is.
Andy Mineo.
Can I ask you something before I say something? You in church, you a Christian? I'm a Christian too, though. That mean by faith, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel like that's kind of like what the word is contradicting when you tell us like rap, like you know, our older people tell us rap music, the devil music and everything. Then you got Christian rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you rapping me about?
What?
Like, what
It
do
depends on the content.
Yeah.
The content and the subject matter. And
you gonna rap me about having good intent? You know what I'm saying? It's
Well,
like,
no, all right, like for example, like this artist that I listen to, he's actually based out here in Orlando. His name is Dayton. He the last album he came out with was called Hell in the Hallway, and it was during the time where his wife didn't want to be with him no more because of his faith. So he was rapping about all the staging and everything that he went through, from the breakup, him wanting to stick with her, him having anxiety, going to the hospital. So he pretty much he rapped about his whole path and his whole experience. I'm pretty sure everybody somehow, some way that went through some shit like that. And it's relatable. Yeah. So it's not like beating you over the head like, oh, yo, you gotta pray, now you're gonna go to hell.
that's what it be.
But it's not like that.
Like I had a
Now it used to be like that
Yeah.
back in the days, but now it's different. Now it's more relatable.
You got Lecrae, you got Bizzle, you have cats. The music is different.
Right.
The music is more relatable. Beats the same.
Right.
The things that the content just is different. What they're giving you is different.
You gotta be throwing $100,000 walking into that offering bucket to get my attention.
But nah,
You know what you gotta make it rain walking up down that altar to go pay your tithes.
What I will say is just like, you know, when it comes to Christian rappers, then I would say the same thing goes for white rappers. I would say the same thing goes for Spanish rappers. I'll even say like artists like Big Pun, our Spanish rappers. I think they have to exceed so far beyond
The norm.
The norm. Like Eminem had to be so much fucking better to be like, oh man, he's dope. And I think Big Pun is another one that's super fucking dope. But he had to be so much fucking better than the fucking average black dude. You know, and that's just like Christian rap. Christian rappers got to be so much more lyrically talented than just some regular. You know what I'm saying?
if you want the attention,
If you want the attention,
everybody else.
No, you just gotta know how to rhyme with the Bible verses.
The thing about
That's all.
The thing about
I'm serious.
Christianity. This is the thing about Christianity. I went to my grandma's church and told them these in front of everybody.
Oh, I'm scared.
What?
I'm scared right now. I'm scared right now.
Hey,
Hold on. Let's make sure there's no clouds around.
This ain't not.
Because I'm not trying to get.
Only like what is going right now.
Hold on.
Hey,
Put this down. I'm gonna sit back, bro.
Hey, he finna blame that little boy.
Because he about to get hit with some shit.
Hey, he finna blame that little boy that told the Easter speech. I don't even want to be here.
Yeah, I'm tired of this church. But it's wrong to cut out the tail. Like they don't make Christianity look flavored enough. Y'all make it seem like you can't be a Christian, you can't be in the world, you can't have worldly things, you can't be materialistic. So if I see everybody got on Cuban links and Jordans, I can't indulge in that because I'm a Christian. You know what I'm saying? I can't do a lot of things, so it makes it seem like a big no.
All about perception.
Yeah, but what is the Christian body of people doing to make it look more flavorful? Y'all giving us this old Jurassic, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real.
No, I'm feeling you now.
I'm being real. Giving this old Jurassic religion ain't like how this gonna work for us today.
But if you listen to the music, if you listen to what you have, like Dayton, like different people, Lecrae, like all these different people, it's different.
How can you tell me that I have to wait till I die to get everything that I want? That's just the main thing will make it look unflavorful.
Yeah.
When you got everybody around you living life. You gonna tell me because I'm living life that it looks unflavorful, like, oh, you're materialistic. That's being a sinner. Oh, you of the world. But everybody, I'm a part of this world. I'm brought in flesh. I'm human. So a lot of stuff, that's what draws people away from Christianity.
But then when you look at certain people of the church higher up,
You
pastors,
realize that they live in the world.
and
live in the world.
they materialistic
Jamal
also.
Bryant.
Pastor
Yeah.
got a 2020 Cadillac, all of that Cadillac.
You got a pastor with like
this is-
with 7 jets.
So this is what I'm saying is that you going to the wrong church and you looking at the wrong person.
Absolutely.
I think,
Bro, going to a church that'll feed your spirit, bro, it's like going house shopping. You went through that this recently. I just went through that recently.
Yeah.
You done ran through
Million houses.
million houses just to find that one. It's the same thing with a church. You got to
But
go.
but I can see what Paris saying. At what point do you go? You keep going through all these churches, and now you tired of just being
like
you
me
tired.
I'm gonna be real. I'm tired of church.
You
I'm
tired.
tired of church. I feel like nobody can give me a better relationship with God than me.
Well, your relationship is not tied to the church. That's just where you go to assemble with people of like
You just go in there to sharpen up your tools.
Yes, your relationship is yours. It's only yours.
Right.
Nobody. It's tied to nobody else but you.
Because this thing with me, I grew up in the church. All right, my grandma been in the church for years. My mama been in the church for years. I grew up in the church. I sprayed away from the church. I was in the church since I was like maybe like 19, and I got like 18. This church was out of sight for me because y'all drugged me here every Sunday.
Yeah, he was forced.
And y'all told me nothing that has nothing to like relate to me as being a teenager or being an adolescent. I can't relate to Job feeding 40 people with fish when I'm 11 years old.
Job did that?
Whoever, somebody.
No, just messing with you,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? Somebody, but you can't relate to that. So they need to find some kind of way. And I tell my,
To relate to the
I tell my
younger-
grandma that's why I don't have no youth in the church no more. Like you look at the youth is down in the church, y'all have no way to break it down, flavor it, and get people to digest it. Y'all just telling me you believe in this, and this is gonna happen to you. You gonna when you die, you gonna burn the hell up.
Or I can see where you're coming from. Or for some people, I can go to church today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they preaching this message. I can go to church 5 years from now.
Same
And
message.
they preaching the same message.
Same message.
It's the same Bible. It's the same Bible. The difference
And
is
then this
is
all
what
like
you
this
get out
is
of it.
another thing about church. When you go to church and you be in the church, the people you go with, nobody's situations change. Like it only way it changes is being real 100. They get sick. Older people get sick and they have some kind of illness and they pray to God to go away. And it don't happen, they end up dying. And then, oh well, God has everything written out how it should be. And to me, that's more bullshit.
But you were
Because-
just praying for them to get
yeah,
well.
yeah, and that's more bullshit because, and I'm not trying to say nothing bad about Christianity or anything, but this is all about self, your own energy before you can accept anything. You have to accept yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm praying for something, or I'm doing something like that, how am I asking somebody for something to happen when I have control over it? You know what I'm
But you
saying?
can't pray for something and just sit in your hands and expect something to
Yeah,
happen.
prayer without works is dead.
Exactly.
Like, definitely.
So what parents are saying, when they say you praying for this person, they went to the hospital to get
a whole
better.
congregation of people, bro, and they never get better.
It
They
just
never
happens.
get better.
Just like, okay, we just had a death with Biz Marquis, right?
Mhm.
Don't you think that his family and everybody was praying?
But listen, all right, so how you pray against big pharma? How you pray and you got people already on medications and all this other stuff that's killing them already. So how you pray against that? Why are you trying to stay alive when you already got to transition one way or another anyway? What's the fight about? Like, that's the questions nobody don't want to ask, but then you ask them questions, tell you, don't question God. No, why are we fighting to live? We have to die.
But you can always question God. The answers that you get along the way are just what you have to deal with. There's never going to be a right answer to everything, but there are answers that you get. The answers that you receive, you either have to accept them or let them go. Put it this way, I'm a PK.
Yeah.
So is Mel Hines.
What's a PK?
Preacher kid.
Oh, preacher's kid.
So
okay.
you
Just
said
put
you
my business out
you said you would drag the church every week and everything.
Yeah, my mom-
And you thought he said pre-K at first, right?
Don't worry, Mel, I'm with you.
I'm a mother elder, so you
Exactly.
can understand.
So what happens is they always go through train up a child in the way that he should go, that he should not depart from it when he's old. All it is a way to know that everything that you have in the Bible, everything that's in there that's put in you, when you need it the most, when you need those things the most, those are the things that you pull out. It's not to say that it's always going to be right what somebody tells you, but when you have your own understanding of what you're given, it is the ability to pull it out to get you through whatever situation and circumstance you are running through to make you better.
Well, yeah.
It's your world. It's your world when you get that knowledge. So don't let anybody tell you that what he tells you is what it is. It is your own personal relationship between you and God that makes you
So let me ask
who
you
you
this.
are.
How do you get that understanding when you got a preacher breaking down what his understanding is of what he heard, and he could be misinterpreting everything and spreading energy into the masses. You know what I'm saying? Now you go home with this misguided word and spreading the misguided people. Now you argue with other Christians because the Bible didn't say that. The Bible said, you see Christians get into it about the Bible. Everybody has.
And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everybody gonna have their own interpretation of what the Bible means. It's not nothing that's etched in stone of how you should live your life.
It's for guidance.
I feel like it's
Exactly.
I feel like it just teaches you good intentions.
It's for
Yeah,
guidance.
Just your
Yeah.
intent.
Hold on, well, no, it's a lot of stuff in the Bible now, dude.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
There's a
stuff.
lot of different stories about different
Look,
stuff.
okay, look, like you mentioned the book of Job earlier, right?
Yeah.
Nothing but trouble. Nothing
Yep.
but
Hold on, look, and look, this finna blow your mind. This finna blow your mind, right? My interpretation of Job that God gambles.
Yeah.
If you read Job, you know that.
try my service.
Check
Try
this
my
out.
service.
Exactly. God tells the devil, try my servant Job.
All right, so let me ask you this.
And they gambled not on his life, but on everything that he has.
His belief.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this stuff. This is gonna be some it kind of might go a little deep, simple question. Who was the devil to God or to Jesus? What's their relationship? If one creator created everything, the devil had to be created by somebody too. So what's their relationship?
Let y'all have that one.
Hey,
Come on,
let
PK.
y'all have
Come on,
that.
PK.
Hey, are they brothers?
Unloyal servant.
Well, according to the Bible,
You're the beginning. Both let me say this
Unloyal
real quick so y'all
servant.
can
Hey, that's
understand.
deep.
Look,
I like
so
that.
y'all can understand exactly like where I'm coming from, so you can give me the right answer. If y'all are the beginning of creation, who created y'all, and therefore y'all has to be brothers.
An unloyal
Who,
servant.
who else? It's only one person, two people, three people. So you had God, you had Jesus, or whoever was supposed to be in Jesus, and you had the devil. So you had the creator of negative and positive. You know what I'm saying?
Free will.
So what's their relations? That's the stuff that they don't talk about and break down.
What they give you- what they
it
give
makes it so confusing.
Exactly.
Free
What-
will
this-
is the
this-
biggest thing I'll give you.
This
Free will.
is the only answer I got for that. If you believe everything that come out of the Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Genesis, and this is another thing about the Bible that I have an issue with. Who recorded everything?
It's so rewritten,
Oh, what is it?
and then
By men.
and then the juiciest part of it took out is Enoch.
Yeah.
Why y'all took that out?
And he would know the most out of anybody else in the Bible.
So why we took that out?
Mm.
That's the biggest book.
That's deep.
That's the
but,
biggest book.
But to go back to answer your question, Riz,
Mhm.
right? In Genesis, it say something. I am paraphrasing at this moment. It said, God said, "We're gonna make man in our image." Who is
Who's ours?
our?
And then answer this question too, real quick. If a UFO landed right now in front of here, and green man with eyes like a damn fly, get out, what's our image? You got guys with frog fingers and stuff. What's our image?
That's always been my question. Who is our?
So if Area 51 is real, and you got aliens or whatever them extraterrestrial, then what's the image that God has made?
okay, but who was to say that aliens got both eyes and has 4 fingers and 2
Exactly.
They might look
No,
like us,
they
maybe.
could be just like us, but the question,
An alien is something that just
but the
not
question
familiar.
is,
For me, the whole thing, the whole alien look, big eyes, big head, green and all that.
That's
to
what
me,
they give us though.
That was the whole Hollywood thing
Yep.
to go sell that.
Yeah,
But-
and that's now they probably do look just like me
but
and you
my,
on another planet.
my question is, who is our? Who was God
The same-
talking to?
The same
In his
person-
own
the-
image.
The same person who they
In
was.
his own
Would they be like, they
image.
killed my damn
No,
nephew?
it say, go look it up. It say in our image. In our image.
Yeah, who's ours?
That's in the Bible.
That's our the definition of ours with a group, more than one.
More than one.
So who is ours?
So exactly. That's always been my question.
Yeah.
Like who is God
but
talking
then
to?
when you answer Pastor that from questioning God, boy.
I was gonna-
Just tell me
but
you
it's in the
don't know.
Bible.
Just tell me you
Yeah,
don't know.
that's the wrong route to go. The pastor to tell you the question.
Just tell me you don't know. Say, hey, some things I don't know.
You're going to question God regardless. That's just
Yeah.
a part. That's a part of being a human.
Yeah,
That's
you
a part
wanna
of what-
know why?
Yeah.
Why? What? This? That? And
But are you always willing to
But
to accept?
are you really questioning God, or you just questioning that religion?
are you questioning the people who wrote the Bible?
Yeah,
That's the question.
You
Yeah, you
got
gotta question that because
religion.
that been rewritten. You got
If
LeBron James done wrote one. You got
King James
King
done wrote
James
one.
done- you
It's
got-
so many different versions of the Bible.
Yeah, there's so many different versions. So it's like you don't know who wrote what. Then it didn't even come from America. So how it's written in English? What's the actual language? What the Bible is in the actual language?
Then you
That they-
got the Quran.
Who has the original Bible that all this came from? Who name can you Google to say, okay, who originally had the Bible? I can't tell you that. So it's all kind of like a perspective. But I just feel like it teaches just good intentions.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, like I watched this video, not a video, a show on Netflix called God, hosted by Morgan Freeman, and he went through every religion on the planet. And I noticed one thing about all of them, they taught just good intentions. Just good intention.
So he's
Just
like us.
do good by people. Just do good, best judgment about everything. It's no religion say kill this black because he don't believe in what you believe in. Hey, they don't. You say treat everybody. Like one of them was like monks. They pull in negative energy. They try to call in devils to turn it to an angel.
Yeah.
You know, they call in demons to try to convert them over because they feel like at one point in time you had to be an angel. If the devil was a fallen angel, then that's what that means. His core basis, he's an angel still.
126.
You know what I'm saying? So try to bring that good back up out of him because they feel like the yin yang. It's good, it's bad, it's bad, it's good. Put the good up out of him and you can convert them. That's how they feel.
And then going back to, I believe you said it, Paris or somebody else, when you're talking about the whole church is praying for this one dude that's sick and he want to die. And stuff.
Yeah.
Like for me, like this is my take. This is my opinion. For me, that is the most selfish thing that you could do, right? And I say that because
What do you mean define?
I mean, all right, like let's say you get hit by a car, you in ICU, and God forbid.
I pray survive.
God forbid.
I pray survive. Be a vegetable, but survive.
I'm gonna pray that everything turns out according to His will. So whatever the outcome is, then I'm willing to accept it.
Let's pinpoint that too.
You see, because I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I want a miracle," and just want God to just raise you up like Lazarus.
But check this out.
That's-
Check,
that's-
but hold on, whoa.
For me, that's selfish.
No. No, hold up, man.
That's my take. I'm gonna pray that God will be done, but whatever the outcome is, I'm willing to accept it. And
check this out. So let's say who was in the accident?
or just anybody.
Okay, but
Damn, DA,
No.
no.
Hey, but
DA done got hit by the bus.
The lion, man.
but check this out. So let's say you pray. You say you pray for his will to happen.
Whatever that may be.
So yeah. So now let's say, well, I'm gonna have two different stories. And let's say it's the lion because I don't want to. Let's say the lion dies, but people pray that the lion lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's God's will, right? Mm-hmm. So now, if the lion lives, then look at this. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
I don't believe in that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, how do you know what is the purpose?
This would be kind of piss me off with people. You get somebody get murdered, and they be like, "Oh, everything's already written."
Yeah.
What about a kid?
What kind of guy
Yeah.
wrote down in his book that this guy's gonna shoot this guy in the head and then go to jail forever, and this guy dies? Whoa! Like how's that godly?
What about kids and women that get raped?
That God gave you with your own will, your own mind. That's your
That's like I
decision.
said, that's free will.
That's free will. He don't control us. He just gave us life. Now what you do with the life is on you. And that's what people
I
need to
agree.
understand.
Yeah.
And they be like, "Oh, he got murdered. God don't want nothing to happen to him.
No,
What happen? God didn't want this man to get shot in the damn eyeball
That's
after the club.
That's just like the people that kill or go on a killing spree and be like, "Oh, the devil made me do it."
Yeah.
No, you made you do it. You
Huh?
are the devil.
Exactly.
I don't think the devil is a real thing. I think the devil is your negative energy that you deal in. And as long as you dig deeper into it, the
It'll-
more you
you'll
become
feed it.
devilish.
Yeah.
And the more on a higher energy,
It's a
higher
consciousness.
frequency,
Yeah.
It's gonna be good or bad. It's only two ways. It's
I'm
no
gonna say
three.
with religion, man. I've always, ever since I was young. I mean, my dad is heavy in the church. So is my mom. And ever since I was younger, man, I've always battled with, like, man, I don't really believe in this stuff. I'm not an atheist, but I'm not like
Let me ask you
super
this.
duper.
Can I ask you something? No,
Oh.
How you feel in the inside? You feel it in the
Well,
inside,
I'm
right?
more spiritual than religious.
Yeah.
Like I believe there's a creator of something. Like it would be naive for me to think, oh man,
This wasn't.
How do you know his
Yeah.
name? Who he told his name to?
and that's my whole point. Like, and that I would always go back to, like, man, there's so many different religions, and there's so many. You believe in this, and who am I, if you're Muslim, to say, man, you're wrong in the name of Christianity? Or when that white dude went to that island trying to convert them people that
And they killed him.
Bro, how you know they're not living righteous according
Exactly.
to them? So I've always went back and forth, and I never mean no disrespect. If you believe in whatever you believe in, but a lot of that stuff is just hard to fathom. But then you think, like, when you think of like Darwin's theory and evolution, like that shit is just as hard to believe that this planet came from one. You know what I'm saying? So it's both are far fetched.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on what you believe in. And I remember
I think so. Stuff.
when I was like 11, I saw Deacon.
Certain
I
answers,
saw.
you
I
just
saw.
gotta wait till you
yeah.
die.
You good, man.
I saw Deacon Betty get that pussy up, and I said,
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Oh man, you talking about the pussy eating pastor too?
I'm joking, but nah, it's just, I mean, that religion is it's a big. It's not big, but it's very touchy, man, and it's for people who can make their argument about this, you got people who can make their argument about that, and like B said, man, it's all about faith, bro. Like you're going to question it, but you know when they said you need the faith the size of
A mustard
that's
seed.
it, man. So you know you just gotta
No,
gotta lean on it, and you're always going to have questions about
Yeah.
you know this and that, and like Eggy said about you know, oh man, you gave this 5-year-old kid cancer. What God would do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So-
how old is that?
You know, you just always gonna have questions, and it just depends on, you know, you just that's your.
And it's like Paris said earlier. I think it was all made out of good intentions, and it was for you to do better, for you to be a better person, for you to do right about your fellow man. That's what I think it was. That's what I hope it was made for. But then again, it could have been made to control.
I feel like the newer. You gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
I thought the newer word was because we just talking facts. Listen, I'm not slandering no race. I'm not slandering nobody. But we was over here as slaves for a long time. We couldn't read or write English or get your ass hung from a tree or lynched. So now all of a sudden we know a religion. You know what I'm saying? But what was the people who you murdered over here doing, and what was the people that you kidnapped doing before they met you? What was their religion then? And that's a whole different truth that they don't never want to talk about.
Yeah.
They don't. You never heard a story about before slavery. It all starts from slavery, and then it works its way down from 4th of July to all that. But what were y'all doing before y'all built these damn boats?
Yeah.
Who conjured up this idea to go get people? That's the stuff they don't ever talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to religion, all that stuff is put in perspective. I feel like a lot of it is the same format. You know what I'm saying?
It was based off of one.
Format, just one
Yeah.
textbook curriculum, and just pyramids its way down through life, and it's just well put together. And no matter what situation it was, it'll work.
It's just like the first people to make the car.
Yeah,
Now you got Ford, Chevy,
Exactly.
Nissan.
and
Tesla.
Exactly.
no matter what kind of situation, it'll work. It'll
Yeah.
fit in.
Yep.
So it's just like you got the like what I call like the first, basically like geniuses or the first scientists is whatever. They come up with a way to come up with a society, and they put rules in play for the society. And just in case for people that rules don't work, we're gonna give them religion, and we're gonna make them feel like if you don't do this, then you're gonna die and you're gonna burn the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Or to justify the fucked up shit you doing.
You finna do
You
to
gonna
them.
blame
That's
it
what
on-
slavery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what's protecting them from. But
And
what
then-
what if you die, not to cut y'all? What if you die, and then you get to heaven, and God be like, nigga, you could have been doing anything the hell you want to do down there, bitch.
Just be a good
But
person.
you wasted all
But you
your
know what?
your
At the
time.
same time, that's where
Huh? Oh, you. That's you.
It's some playing.
So that's you,
That's you.
huh? Oh,
It's all right.
Went to the alternate universe. The alternate universe.
hey, that's why I'm T'Challa, baby.
It's time traveling right now.
Oh, dang, I done forgot what I was saying.
That 30 minutes in time.
Oh, we
So far
past that, man.
We talk about the
We
religion.
were talking about in religion how how they use how a lot of them use the stuff that they do and blame it, you know, to justify what they did.
Yeah.
They put it on religion, or they do fucked up stuff and say, I don't care if nobody else forgave me. God forgave me.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
God-
I repented to God, so I don't have to apologize.
God forgives, I know.
You use that to be a shitty person.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a quick cop out. That's
To be a
quick
shitty
cop
person.
out.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that. So,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do it by the way. Everybody do it. But what?
That's a quick cop
But what if like I think like this? They just keeping everybody away from the truth with religion and everything. I think like in real reality, why the hell won't you be able to do what you want to do here?
Now I remember what I was
An animal has an instinct. So you think that tiger get caught with a sin for killing that damn gazelle because he got to eat? Or how many animals would probably just like Stephen Fry just fuck over just coming through the jungle?
Look.
Like I seen a damn a goddamn what it is, like just named like a sloth. I didn't even eat him. I just killed his ass and just kept it moving because I'm a tiger. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm gonna go to hell and see a fiery tiger down
But
there?
look, and that's why that's why they say we only use like what 6%, whatever 10% of our
10%
brain because we're not connected. We're not on that level of consciousness with the whole universe.
We're not one. We're not one with nature no more.
Yeah.
We're not sick
Yeah.
with nature.
Who was?
Who was?
Lucy.
Oh, see, look at and that, but that movie really gives you a real.
See, hold on. Now,
understanding.
wait. Now,
That's one of my favorite movies.
That's another thing. Lucy was supposed to be the first
Woman.
person. Period.
Neanderthal.
Now
to
contradicts
access
that contradicts
that much of a brain.
the Bible.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Adam and Eve.
So and I'll never forget this. When I was in elementary school, this white boy told me. He said, "We're brothers, right?" He said, "We all come from the same person. We all come from one person." He told me this in elementary, right? I never understood what he was talking about until I got older, like in high school. Where I realized what he was talking about. But at the same time, I'm like, because I grew up in the church, and now I'm like, how could she have been the first person when you got Adam and Eve?
But then look where Adam and Eve was from too.
It don't make sense. But if you
Yeah.
are using science, Lucy
Was the first person.
was the first person.
And she was half monkey.
Male and female, because she was able to reproduce.
But every even like in
I'm too sober to have this conversation.
I studied different religions too. In like the African or whatever they call voodoo religion, like the first person was like Marseille. And she was a woman and a man. And she had birth and she birthed these gods and these super people. But what other kind of person would come from a woman and a man who impregnate herself? You're gonna be some kind of special being. And that's how you're supposed to have all these spin-offs, but then that still don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because
It's so deep, man. It's like diving down a rabbit hole.
it's a deep rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's for all y'all smokers.
And you get drunk, start talking about religion. Bro, come back, come back.
I don't think it's no religion. I think it's all about intent. I really think.
I think religion was made to control.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's all about brain, like what they had.
I want this group of I want to get people to believe what I believe in, so I can do
I
this.
have to control the people some kind of way, because if everybody knew they can do anything the hell they wanted to do, then who's going to control the planet?
And that's that. And I done heard this saying, we're all gods.
We all are.
Yeah.
You control everything.
And you create.
I had one of my
Like they say, God create this, that, and that. You create.
I
You
had-
create life. You create your
I had
own
one of my
environment.
One of my codes on my other show
God
was
created in
saying,
His image, right?
yeah, one of my other codes on my other show was saying, like it's hell on earth. Like, you think this is hell. I said, how can this be hell when you control it? You can get to be a millionaire right now if you wanted to. If you can feel it inside you. Like, if I really wanted to go hard on this, I could.
You can do it.
It's just you don't just tap into that source of energy, but you feel inside you that it's there.
That's that 10% that you just using. People who desire to do other stuff and do it, they tapping into anything above 10%.
Or it could be the same 10%, just be different parts of the 10%.
I say it's more.
It could be, so I might not use the same.
Let's say we all on the same frequency at 10%.
It's a different 10%. You might be using, like, let's use for example like a I'm gonna just use like a system. All right, I'm just gonna say this system. So let's say this system has 100 different components. You know what I'm saying? So 100 different components, 10 go in 100 10 times. So you only just using 10 of them, you still have 90 left. He might be using 10 that you ain't even using. That's why he can sing and rap.
I got you.
He might be using 10 you ain't singing, so that's why he come up with clothes and shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm using 10 y'all ain't using, so I came up with restaurants and chains. He might be using 10 that none of us using, now he came up with a network. I feel like no matter what, we still working with the 10. I feel like when you work with the more of the 10, then you start doing every fucking thing.
Well, you know, I think if you tap into, like, for the past couple years, I've tapped into more people who've been spiritual than religious. And they'll tell you, like, once you tap into, like, you know, you talk.
Killer Cam.
No. I want to give out his name. What's the Hemp's podcast? Ford. You know, me and him have talked about meditation, you know, just stuff like that, tapping into different frequencies and vibes and actually manifesting different stuff. And, like, you can create whatever you want to create.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to tap into that spiritually. and it takes work to get there. You just don't sit down and close your eyes and get there. But
That's when
know,
video games when you in God mode.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you just gotta tap into that, and you can tell when certain people are aligned with.
I feel like everybody.
They move different, the energy different. So
Yeah.
There's manifestation.
And it's all about that energy.
Yeah. Because once you manifestate something, you get a certain energy. It can happen like that.
Yeah.
You talking about overnight? You know what I'm saying? It's like I see people, and they can be like rappers or whatever. He blew up overnight. It's just not been manifestating that for so long that when he started to try it, it just came to.
That's what you see a lot of underground. That's what you see a lot of.
on the surface.
That's what you see a lot of underground rappers.
He could have been grinding 5
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
years.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's manifestation. I mean, over there, just been putting in his work, but now y'all finally seeing it on it's coming to life. You know what I'm saying? But
that was
building this though for a while.
That was faith.
Yeah. Faith.
It sounds funny, but that was faith. He had faith in his. We want to put it on a level where faith in God and faith in everything else. But faith starts in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Faith starts in believing that whatever I want and whatever I want to achieve starts in what I believe in myself.
Yeah.
My faith is different. I believe what I believe, but it still starts with a look in the mirror and say, hey, I know that anything that I want, anything that I want to achieve.
Yeah, I know. They believe.
I
know.
Yes.
I know this gonna happen.
That I can look at this and it just happens to go through the fact that I know that for me is all things work together for the good. That's my thought process. And I know if I believe this just have this little bit of faith in myself that I can achieve anything.
Yep.
Those are manifestations that you put into words and you put into actions for yourself. Whether I believe in God or whether I believe in anything, it starts with looking in that mirror and believing in myself.
And you said the key thing. You said the key thing. It starts with self, and then you put it into words. Your tongue is more powerful than you know. Once you tell yourself something, bam, it's here, and you're gonna believe everything you say. Even if sometimes somebody tell you something, if you believe what they say, you not instilled in your.
Paris, you all right, man?
Go ahead and go look at Bushwick Bill and shit.
Right, but like, yeah, you believe.
Like, oh shit, I believe I'm blind. Man.
But you gotta believe it, and then you start saying that stuff to yourself. Yeah. Your tongue is powerful. You create and destroy stuff with your
Speaking
mouth.
life and death.
Exactly.
You can speak existence. The Bible tell you about that too.
But a lot of it start. A lot of it.
Like B said, it starts.
God damn it, I'm talking. A lot of it start and end with a lot of these churches and religious institutes, because any of us know that when we working towards something, we gonna hit roadblocks. Every door ain't gonna be open the first time. You're gonna have some ups and you're gonna have some downs. And what's the first thing that happened when you have a first down and you deal with church or religious people? They say, "Oh, that's the way God meant for it to happen, and He meant for you to have it." Or you starting to worship the money or the other thing. You know what I'm saying? So then that kind of discouraged you from, in your mind at first, you was like, you know what, let me get up and try again. Then you go to them for counsel, and then they tell you something that's going to hinder or alter what you're feeling inside. So sometimes you got to block them out and just go with what you feel. If I had to stop working on this when I hit the first roadblock and went to a certain person that I considered to be a
confidant or
somebody, and it was like, oh, God don't want you to do that. God wants you to follow your dad's footsteps and be a preacher. You know what I'm saying? But my my dad is a pastor, and my dad say, no, you get up, dust yourself off, figure out where you went wrong from, learn from it, and then push forward. So he's telling me not follow my footsteps. He's telling me follow your dreams. Whatever I can do to back you or help you, or whatever guidance. He don't say you have to do it according to the Bible, or you have to do this. He don't say you can't be a millionaire because then you worshiping money. He don't say he tell me I can have anything I want.
For real pastors and real people who understand, my daddy always says you can achieve and do anything that you want to do. He said, what I tell you and give you is the fact that you have to trust and believe that your faith puts you in position to become whatever you want to become. it's not the worship.
Don't lean on man. Lean on
And that's
yourself.
where
God ain't
you
right
do
now.
now. The two real men, I ain't even gonna say pastors. Two real men who leading people the right way, off of just based off of what y'all two just told me.
Yeah.
Now you got some people who use, just like you got people in certain positions who abuse it. You got some people in the preacher role who abuse that position, and now it's all about them. It's all about them and what they can gain and all this stuff from that position. Those two men y'all just talked about is that they are up and above those other preachers.
I feel like we should hold pastors and people who are in the community
at a higher.
y'all even like I said this on my other podcast. Even when it comes to even the people in our community at the corner stores, kids finna start going back to school. If you ain't passing out book bags, if you ain't giving out school supplies or helping the community, we gonna have to run you out the community. Pastors too. A lot of them, I haven't seen a pastor do anything for community in years. Besides give back to the people in his own church. But your church in the middle of a community.
And that's on people on a certain level.
Yeah, on a certain level. If you're
Not
a part of the
everybody.
congregation though.
Yeah.
But when Rockhead walk up trying to get the turkey, they did not have
No,
Rockhead.
you got people.
turkey.
You got people in the congregation who go give their last,
Some do.
and when they out in need,
Well,
like,
who they turn to?
exactly.
Yeah, even the
And
church
ain't
with
saying that
power
about
off.
ain't saying that about every church, but it's some churches out there like that because the pastor is
A
all
lot of them
about
out there like
himself.
that. It's because it's
He all about
it's-
himself.
A lot of, I mean, I ain't shaming nobody or nothing like that. But it'd be tax breaks, it'd be a lot of stuff. I just feel like it done got kind of off of what it's supposed to really be about. You know what I'm saying? It's done turned to a career, and it's supposed to, you're supposed to be here to help the masses. You're supposed to be doing what Jesus would do if he was here. So if Sister Pearlie Ann lights is off and her light bill $350, you need to pass a collection plate around for Pearlie Ann.
Yeah.
And you need to pass it around for whoever else
Look,
got a
hey,
problem going on.
I grew up next door to a church where this pastor did everything.
Yeah.
If they got a leak, he fixing the leak. The grass need cutting, he cut the grass. The window broken, he put it in the
real
window.
Whoa, you know what that's called? Before you can be a leader, before you can be called a pastor and be called all that stuff, it's said in the word that you need to be a servant leader.
A deacon.
So when you're a servant leader, that means that anything that needs to be done, I serve.
Mm-hmm.
In order to lead, I have to be able to serve, because you don't know what it is for somebody to follow you if you never had.
Exactly.
So when you talk about a servant leader, you're talking about someone who has been through the fire, who's had the test of time to show, and has that metal that you need to say, hey,
Who can relate?
I've done this stuff. I'm understanding that this part of what I'm doing, I'm not asking you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what, for me, anything that you endeavor to be as a pastor, as a preacher and all that stuff, you have to be willing to put yourself in that situation and show somebody that anything that I'm asking you to do and anything that God wants you to do, I'm willing to do myself as well.
Or have it done. Yeah.
No, that's a tough thing for a lot of people to do, because if you look at a person from at face value, sometimes you're gonna run into people that you be like, he ain't been through nothing, he ain't doing nothing, he ain't trying to do nothing. It's hard to follow that person when I don't believe that you've been through anything. It's hard to go through something which will trust you when I don't feel like you've been through anything.
Yeah.
Or you're not showing me that you're trying to understand where I'm at. That's life. We are flesh, number one. So you can't ask somebody to just believe in something without you showing me that you understand what I'm going through, that you respect what I'm going through, that I can trust you to look at it and say, hey, I know, I got it, I got you. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you through this. If you ain't willing to put your boots on and put your hard hat on and work through this with me, then you can't leave.
Yeah.
But shout out to Dirt, man. He had faith he won't get shot, so he had faith, man.
He had a praying woman with him too. She prayed that he didn't get shot either.
She was praying.
Prayer warrior. Shout out all the prayer warriors out there.
They had that fire with them. That's what it was.
But I want to get into something T'Challa wanted to talk about with Larry Johnson. I mean, before we get up out of here, because I'm pretty sure it'll be.
Who's Larry Johnson?
He's an ex-football player.
Ex-football player.
He used to play for the Chiefs.
Where he playing?
back in the
Early
90s.
2000s.
Yeah,
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
He played with Emmitt Smith and all
No, he was
Nah.
No.
that? After that.
How long Emmitt played? Emmitt played until the 2000s.
Yeah.
So yeah, he played.
He wasn't around fitness.
He was in that end of.
He was
Emmitt.
more with the LaDainian Tomlinsons and those
Yeah.
guys. So, but I'm not sure
before the Chiefs started winning.
But I'm not sure what the T'Challa. What did the tweet say?
Oh, Larry Johnson had made a tweet about
Give me a different
Chikara.
Oh, I wanted to bring
Shikari.
her up.
He made a tweet about
Shikari.
Shikari Richardson
Oh, he want another
about her
He
features
want a cola
and
one.
that she was an undercover transgender, and he posted a picture.
Hold on. The track running girl?
Mm-hmm.
You trying to say she might be though.
Look, he posted a picture and he said, "What female you know who breastplates runs all the way up to their collarbone like a man? Like it looked like my chest." He posted a picture.
Well,
Just
you have to look at. Well, I feel like they should.
matter of fact, Google the picture. Anybody in here, Google Larry Johnson.
I'm trying to find. I couldn't find him.
You have to go to the top. Like,
Thank
all right, so to do
Google
that,
it.
to do that, you have to do with the top, one of the top female athletes who's dark and who's look like that's like an alpha female.
Nah, he
And
posted
that's
like
Serena Williams. Now you go from that blueprint because that's an actual female who's been trained in the sport her whole life.
Mhm.
So her makeup is going to be what any other female makeup
Standard.
should be.
The
So it's standard. So if it's anything outside of that, then yeah, you have a problem.
Hey, well, based off of Serena, because Serena is still fine. And she got small
I
breasts.
think that girl might be a dude though. 'cause
She got small
they
breasts.
They was talking about that a few months before this even happened. About
Hey.
how transgenders can compete in the Olympics and everything, and they'll be going like so from. Yes, she knew that was almost bigger than mine.
Hey, T'Challa got an enlarged prostate.
Hey, if that little boy who been potty trained and pee in the room.
But she ain't do it though. But it might if weed is legal, basically like what about 40% through the country, 30% through the country, something like that. Then why it's an issue?
Because they're never going to legalize it the way that it needs to be, because the federal government doesn't want to legalize it. They want it to be through each individual state, because there's too many things that have to be monitored.
Well, why? Listen, I can smoke.
And they trying to figure out a way to properly tax it.
Exactly.
The same way they did damn alcohol. You can smoke 3 joints and won't hurt nobody. Have 3 goddamn drinks, you kill everybody on the fucking highway if you ain't been drinking. But they ain't regulate that though.
I'll go to your in-laws house and put the door.
Yeah, go to in-laws house. You go to in-laws house, you tell them you tell them Roy to come out the damn door.
Roy!
You tell them Roy to come outside.
Bring your punk ass out the door!
He would have did that.
But listen, you only have a certain amount of brewery companies or major brewery companies that are brewing the beer. So they taxing them, they making the billions off of that. With this weed stuff, anybody can cultivate it. Anybody can grow their own strands. So they can't. In order for them to do it properly, you know what? They're gonna only have to. They're gonna only have to license so many people to grow it, and then if you don't have this license, then everybody else is growing it illegally. Right. And then that right there is cutting down the opportunity for everybody else to get in.
So I'm actually
Broke another mic.
You put my tab on him. You can get my tab with the microphone.
Broke another mic. You broke another
I
mic.
gotta fix that one. It's broken.
You broke another mic stand.
You gotta call this podcast Broken Mic. Broken Mic.
Broken paper.
Yeah, but I just feel like they need to reform everything. I just feel like people need to know, even as a country or government, to say, okay, let's pause and let's see what the hell going on. It might have to change everything around. Because it should be nowhere in hell that alcohol is legal and weed is not legal.
Mm-hmm.
I just find that crazy as hell.
Well, it's just like I think with a lot of stuff in America, and specifically with this, it's more so perception. Like alcohol, you do that at bars. It's intended to make you, relax and associate with
Weed and the same thing.
parties and stuff like that. But weed is looked at more as more of a detriment. You get what I'm saying?
How?
More of like,
I ain't seen about it.
well, I'm talking about as far as America goes, the perception of it.
But it's
like,
Well, if you go, if you go back to, let's say, 60s, 50s, it was always saying, well, weed is the gateway drugs to cocaine and heroin.
Yeah.
That's so it has that stamp on it.
Alcohol is a gateway drug to heaven or hell because other people crashed and died and then car crashed.
That's my point. What I'm trying to
Alcohol
say.
was never labeled as that. Alcohol was always labeled as
Why
the.
is that?
And even though alcohol is not, it is.
But that's why
It was at one point
that's
it
why
was illegal
prohibition
back
was
in
a
like
big
on
thing.
lights, like with
I'm
Clyde.
saying, they can say it's a gateway drug.
No. I'm saying that's how it was labeled back then.
It still is though.
So it has that stigmata on it.
It still is.
Still is. But
That's my point.
Mostly a gateway drug for white folk. Because think about it. Back in the day, who used to smoke? Mostly black people. White people used to do cocaine and all
mushrooms
that
and
stuff.
shit.
They used to do like hard drugs or whatever. So that's why you had white folk get caught with cocaine. They didn't do no time, but a black person get caught with weed or reefer.
It's a
as they call it.
damn Joe Biden y'all put in the chair.
And they used to throw the book at them.
80% crack law.
So who we gonna blame for all these white kids that's getting turned out on coke? Now they going and buying the coke,
Joe
black
Biden.
folk. But who we gonna say?
Guaranteed generate me income. But like that's why our coaches don't teach. Our coach only teaches us rap music, shoot 'em up,
Fast
kill
money.
'em, trap until you die, and go to prison until you die. That's all we get. And then we wonder why, like, when we going through this culture shock, we gotta start with like the rap. We gotta start with like the emulation, like what we see. With eyes see, the mind believe. So we don't just keep putting this stupid stuff in front of us and our children, we ain't saying anything about it. They gonna keep on doing it. And then we wonder why we getting homosexual children, we getting disobedient children, rebellious children, people don't want to listen to children because they listen to Pooh Shiesty, they listen to Big 30, Big Scar, they listen to Lil Durk, they listen to drill music. I got a 30 on my Glock, I'm gonna flip your top when I see you, you know what I'm saying? I'm smoking on BB, I'm smoking on Zaza, and that's what they feel is right. But while I'm doing all this, I got on a Louis belt, I got on Gucci shoes, I'm Mitch Batch designers, I'm on 2-3 drugs because that's what Future said to do. But then I got Pooh telling me to shoot up everybody. So you have a person who has a personality defect, and they be at all these people, but not they self. And y'all wonder why like they end up in a correction institute, like where y'all work at. Y'all see them every day. You're in that for me.
Hey, hey. You work at a factory.
Oh, y'all work at a
Oh,
factory?
that was called, my bad.
I ain't know.
I make shoes for a living.
I don't know if people see me on here, they call it.
Yeah, man. You know, when it comes to that weed and stuff, I definitely think it's a perception. Like it's even despite the medical pros of it, you know. But we're gonna get up out of here, man. I think we covered all the bases, man. Religion, drugs. It was pretty well rounded.
Hey, Deacon.
We went for a triple double today, man.
What is it? Deacon Betty?
Deacon Betty and
Deacon Betty.
Deacon, what was it? Sister Betty. Sister Betty.
What about that pastor? The pussy and pastor. What his name was?
That's Betty.
I don't even know his name.
He eating that coochie sideways. I ain't know you're a real pro eating that coochie sideways.
Yeah, man. Follow us on all the social platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Like I said, we always encourage the interaction back and forth, the questions, the disagreements. We encourage that, man. So we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in again. Come back next week. Hopefully we can keep you guys entertained, man. And until then, y'all be safe and take care of each other, man. We out.
Peace.
Peace.